At the beginning of the story, we are shown a hitman named Charlie who has just returned after killing someone. Charlie is extremely tired, so he falls asleep. But the next morning, when he wakes up, he feels something strange in his body. He can no longer feel his body properly. Somehow, stumbling and falling, he goes into another room where he finds a DVD. When he plays it, he learns that while he was asleep the previous night, someone had given him a special kind of Chinese poison. This poison will freeze his blood and kill him within 1 hour. If he wants to stay alive, he must keep his heartbeat fast at all costs. Otherwise, he will die due to a lack of adrenaline. To get the antidote to this poison, it is essential for him to find Verona. Without wasting any time, he gets into his car and speeds toward Verona's hideout. Because of the poison, his heartbeat starts slowing down again, and darkness begins to appear before his eyes. Just then, he presses the accelerator, increasing the car's speed, and his heart starts working again. Charlie calls his friend Kalo for help and tells him about his condition. Charlie says that Verona has given him a drug that is stopping his heartbeat, and Kalo must find him quickly or the drug will kill him. Kalo immediately gets to work and starts checking all of Verona's possible locations because only Verona has the antidote. Meanwhile, Charlie goes to a dance bar. He knows a man there who might know where Verona can be found. Charlie puts a gun to the man's head and demands to know Verona's location, threatening to kill him if he doesn't talk. Before he can get any information, the man's goons break down the door and rush inside. Everyone points a gun at Charlie, and one mistake would have ended his life. However, their boss realizes that Charlie is in trouble. He tells his men to lower their guns and explains that he himself is owed $75,000 by Verona. He says that if he knew where Verona was, he would have already found him and taken his money back. While talking, Charlie's heart stops working again. He asks them for some drugs. The boss tells him to take only a small amount, but to reduce the poison's effect, Charlie consumes the entire packet. He feels relief for a short time, but soon the effect wears off. After that, he starts a fight with them so that the physical impact will restart his heart. Instead, things go wrong, and they begin chasing him to kill him. On the way, Verona calls Charlie to check whether he is still alive. He is shocked to learn that Charlie is alive. Verona then says that after Charlie's death, he will make Charlie's girlfriend Eve his queen. Hearing this makes Charlie furious. He promises that before dying, he will find Verona and kill him. Charlie is driving so fast that the police start chasing him. During this, he calls his friend Miles, who is a doctor, and tells him about his condition. As soon as Miles hears the symptom, he understands which poison was used. He explains that adrenaline is the only thing keeping Charlie alive and that he must keep moving. Miles says that if he is not mistaken, Charlie has been given a Chinese drug called an adrenaline cocktail. It takes control of the adrenaline glands and blocks the nerves, meaning if Charlie stops, his life is over. While talking, Charlie crashes into a mall and keeps running to keep his blood circulation fast. Charlie becomes extremely tired and thinks about resting, but as soon as he sits down, his heartbeat slows again and he feels like he could die at any moment. He asks the driver to play music, but even that does not give him an adrenaline rush. Without wasting time, he enters a grocery store and steals high-energy items. A person is normally allowed only 2 energy drinks a day to keep body heat up. After this, Charlie goes to his boss, Cartillo, and asks for help in capturing Verona. He also tells him that the Chinese Don he killed for Cartillo is now being used by Verona to set him up. Charlie says that only Cartillo can save him. Cartillo replies that there is no cure for that Chinese poison, and even if Charlie finds Verona, he will still die. Charlie realizes that Cartillo does not care whether he lives or dies because Cartillo is also working with the enemy. He did this because helping Charlie would reveal that he was the one who ordered the killing of the Chinese boss, Kim. Charlie had been badly trapped by these people, but for now his only priority is to stay alive. Dr. Miles calls again and tells him that slowing blood flow will kill him. He advises Charlie to go to a hospital immediately and take an epinephrine injection, which is artificial adrenaline that will keep him alive for some time. He warns him not to take more than 10 milligrams and to use only 1/4 of the dose. Meanwhile, Kalo calls and says that he couldn't find Verona, but he just saw Verona's brother entering a hotel. Charlie rushes there and asks if he really saw him go inside. When Verona's brother Alex learns that Charlie is at the hotel, he goes there himself to kill him. Alex searches every corner of the hotel but cannot find Charlie. As he opens the back door and turns around, Charlie attacks him and cuts off his hand. That is all Charlie can do before his heart stops again. Taking advantage of this, Alex beats him badly. Kalo tries to save Charlie, but after dealing with Charlie, Alex turns his attention to Kalo and moves to kill him. At that moment, Charlie somehow staggers up, picks up Alex's severed hand, and uses the gun in it to kill Alex. After this, Charlie uses Alex's phone to call Verona and tells him that he himself is responsible for his brother's death. He says the body is lying in a garbage pile outside a hotel and tells him to come and collect it. He warns Verona that picking a fight with him was a huge mistake. Charlie then goes straight to the hospital and asks a nurse for an epinephrine injection. The nurse refuses, saying it is a dangerous drug that is not given to patients there. She suspects that Charlie is asking for it for illegal reasons and calls calls the police. Meanwhile, a patient standing nearby tells Charlie to take the nasal spray kept at the counter, which contains epinephrine. Charlie sprays 4 or 5 bottles into his nose, but the amount of epinephrine is very small. After that, he decides to steal the drug directly from the hospital. Some police officers try to catch him, but he escapes them and hides in a patient's room. After they leave, Charlie sneaks out and heads toward the emergency ward. He puts a gun to a ward boy's head and demands an epinephrine injection. Before the ward boy can give it to him, the police spot Charlie. The ward boy manages to get the medicine, but by then Charlie's heartbeat has dropped dangerously low. Charlie threatens him, saying he needs a shock or he'll blow his brains out. The ward boy sets the machine to the highest level and delivers a powerful shock, throwing Charlie back. Charlie tries to inject the medicine himself, but everything starts going blurry. In that situation, he forgets how much dose Miles had told him to take and injects the entire bottle into his vein. This floods his body with adrenaline, pushing him beyond normal human limits. He gains so much energy that he keeps running non-stop until his heart feels like it's about to burst. After a few minutes, the effect slowly begins to fade, though the side effects remain. Miles calls him and scolds him for taking more than 10 milligrams. He tells Charlie to take another medicine to reduce the side effects of epinephrine. However, Charlie can no longer go to the hospital because every news channel is broadcasting his story. Miles then tells him to take a small amount of cannabis and says that if he survives, the poison will leave his body within 30 minutes. He warns him not to stop moving under any circumstances. After this, Charlie steals a police officer's motorcycle and starts performing stunts. This doesn't last long, as he loses balance and crashes into a divider. At that moment, his girlfriend Eve calls him and says she wants to meet. Charlie warns her that a madman is after him and tells her to leave immediately. Eve thinks he's joking as usual and doesn't take him seriously. Meanwhile, we see Verona, who still hasn't recovered his brother's full body. He wants revenge for Alex's death, so he orders his men to bring Charlie's girlfriend to him so he can do the same to her that Charlie did to his brother. Charlie reaches Eve before Verona's men and tells her to quickly pack her things and come with him. Suddenly, his vision starts going dark, and he doesn't know what to do. To raise his adrenaline, Charlie burns his hand by putting it into a toaster. Eve is terrified by his condition, but there's no time to explain. As they are leaving, Charlie spots Verona's men. To keep Eve from panicking, he deliberately drops all her belongings. While she is busy picking them up, Charlie takes out the men one by one. After this, Charlie takes Eve to a safe place and tells her the whole truth. He admits that he lied about being a software engineer and reveals that he is actually a hitman who kills people for money. He tells her that the night before, he was supposed to kill someone, but didn't because he wanted to leave that life and settle down with her. His last assignment was to kill the Chinese Don Kim, but he didn't complete it, and Kim is still alive. The Chinese believe Charlie killed Kim, so they poisoned him with something that will kill him in a few days. Charlie wants Eve to leave him and go far away. Eve doesn't believe him and thinks he's making up stories to break up with her. Charlie tries hard to convince her, but once again, the poison begins to take effect. He needs adrenaline, but can't find anything around him to stop the poison temporarily. Then he gets an idea and begins undressing Eve in the middle of the market. They become intimate, which increases his heart rate again. During this, Charlie gets a call from Kalo, who says he has found Verona. Charlie immediately goes to the given location, but it turns out to be a trap by his boss, Cartillo. Kylo has been captured and hanged to death. Instead of entering through the main gate, Charlie enters the building from above. Inside, he sees his own men who have been hired by Cartillo to kill him. They tell him that he's going to die soon anyway and suggest he quietly go die in a corner to make things easy for everyone. Charlie refuses to die so easily, especially without taking revenge. A massive gunfight breaks out. Charlie uses Kalo's dead body as cover while trying to escape. Eve, unaware of the danger, follows him and witnesses him fighting dozens of armed men. She realizes he wasn't lying. Somehow the two of them manage to escape, but their troubles aren't over. The men chase them and fire relentlessly. After a long chase, Charlie cleverly outsmarts them and kills them all. On the way, he sees a hardware store, enters it, and drives several nails into his leg. Because his body has gone numb, he feels no pain. This means no matter what he does now, he won't get any more adrenaline, and even if he does, it won't work. Fortunately, Miles calls him at the right moment and tells him he has a temporary cure for the poison. Charlie rushes to Miles, who now holds the power over his life and death. The medicine gives Charlie great relief, but Miles explains that the treatment is only temporary. The poison will leave his body and be replaced by another chemical, allowing him to survive for a short time. Even on life support, he may live a few days, but eventually he will fall into a coma. In short, survival is unlikely, and the best option would be anesthesia and deep sleep. Charlie asks Miles for just one more hour, the time he needs to kill Verona. He then calls Verona and demands the antidote in exchange for his brother's dead body. Charlie knows no antidote exists, but Verona still agrees to meet him and asks him to come to Cartillo's hideout. Charlie goes there after taking all the medicines given by Miles, causing him to hallucinate. Upon reaching the upper floor, he is thoroughly searched and disarmed. He is brought before Cartillo. Verona is so frightened that he orders another search before speaking to Charlie. They believe Charlie is helpless. Suddenly, Charlie forms a fake gun with his hand and points it at one of their men. Before they can react, someone shoots that man dead. It is revealed that Kim is helping Charlie in exchange for his own life. Heavy gunfire erupts between the two gangs, killing many of Cartillo's men, and the chaos is broadcast on every news channel. Cartillo calls for extraction and runs toward the helipad. Charlie tries to stop them, but the poison weakens him again. He tries to shoot Verona but misses every shot. Somehow, he reaches the helipad and captures Cartillo. Before he can kill him, Verona injects Charlie with another dose of poison. Verona even shoots Cartillo himself and forces the pilot to escape at gunpoint. With barely any strength left, Charlie manages to climb onto the helicopter before takeoff. Verona tries to push him off, but Charlie grips his clothes tightly, causing Verona to lose balance and hang from the helicopter as well. Using all his remaining strength, Charlie pulls Verona down and both fall without parachutes. Charlie kills Verona in the fall, but now there seems to be no chance of his own survival. In his final moments, he calls Eve and apologizes for not being able to return. He crashes into the ground, and it seems his story has ended. But the second chapter had just begun. Before police arrived, Chinese men abducted his body. Charlie was still alive. Unprofessional doctors performed a brutal operation, replaced his heart with an electric one, and mistreated him. A few weeks later, when Charlie regained consciousness, he realized that a battery was attached to his body. They were planning to remove his remaining body parts as well and sell them on the black market. But the moment Charlie got a chance, he brutally killed all of them and escaped. He had to reach the man who now had his heart. Killing people one by one, Charlie kept asking them about that man. He even shoved an entire gun inside one of them. After that, he was told about Johnny, the same man who had made the deal for Charlie's heart. Charlie found out that they wanted his heart so they could donate it to a 100-year-old man. At the same time, they had fitted him with an artificial heart that ran only on electricity and needed to be recharged again and again. His heart was connected to 2 batteries. Charlie once again called his friend Miles and told him about his condition. Miles knew everything about artificial hearts. He explained that Charlie had 2 batteries, one outside his body and one inside. If the external battery failed, the internal one would last only 60 minutes. That's why he would need to keep charging the external battery from time to time. Charlie thought it was fine. At least he was alive after falling from a helicopter. But just then, while driving, he crashed into a divider, which broke and ruined his external battery. He called Miles again and told him that his outer battery was broken. Miles explained that his heart could still keep beating if he kept giving himself electric shocks from time to time. Without wasting any time, Charlie shocked himself using his car battery, which made his heart start working again, and he began to feel better than before. Charlie reached their hideout and brutally beat Johnny's men, but unfortunately, Johnny managed to escape. There, Charlie met a Chinese girl named Rhea, who was very happy to see him because Johnny's men had kept her captive for many days. Even if unknowingly, Charlie had saved her life, so she completely fell for him, but Charlie showed no interest at all and told her to stay away from him. Rhea told him that she knew where Johnny could be found. After that, Charlie tried to steal a car to get there, but the car owner pushed him down. Then Charlie entered a club. We see that Johnny himself was also being tortured by some people because they were still looking for Charlie. In that club, Charlie saw his girlfriend Eve, who was now working as a stripper. Charlie was shocked to see her in that condition, and Eve was shocked to see him alive because, for her, he had died after falling from the helicopter. Charlie caused a massacre in the club as well, but once again, he got nothing. A man told him that someone named Al Haroun was looking for him. Charlie had many enemies, but he had never heard this name before. When he came out of the club with Eve, the police arrested him. They gave him electric shocks, not knowing that it wouldn't hurt him. Instead, it would give him more power. Charlie killed all the policemen and escaped. With him was another girl who knew about Johnny. She told him that he would definitely find Johnny at the horse racetrack where he worked in betting. On the way, some more policemen spotted him. Charlie was running away from them, but his battery was slowly draining. Charlie saw 2 men in a garden who had put an electric shock collar on their dog to control it. Charlie put on that collar himself and kept shocking himself repeatedly to recharge. But that amount of electricity wasn't enough for him. The police had surrounded him from all sides when suddenly Kylo appeared in front of him. Seeing him, Charlie's eyes widened in shock. Kylo put him on a motorcycle and helped him escape. Charlie thought it was his friend Kai, who was still alive. He said, "Kylo, I thought you were dead." But the man told him, "I'm not Kylo. They killed him. I'm Venus, Kylo's twin brother." Before he could explain anything else, Venus started having epileptic seizures and their bike crashed. Venus used to get such seizures from time to time. He said he wanted to take revenge for his brother's death. Charlie told him there was no need anymore. He had already killed all of them long ago. Charlie saw that the horse racetrack was right in front of him. He went inside and called Dr. Miles because his battery was about to run out again. Miles told him that he would have to charge his battery through friction, and friction is created created by rubbing two things together. After hearing this, Charlie started rubbing himself against the people standing there. Johnny is right in front of him, but because of the low battery, he cannot reach him. Eve sees that Charlie's condition is very bad and that he needs a lot of friction. For this, the two of them start getting intimate right there on the racetrack, which recharges Charlie's battery again. Because of this act, the police come to arrest both of them, but Charlie runs after Johnny instead. He chases Johnny because the box in Johnny's hand contains his heart, but Johnny tricks him and escapes. The police come to arrest Charlie, but then we see Kim save him from the policeman and take him a short distance away before throwing him out of the car. Kim had helped him before as well, but he always did everything for his own benefit. This time too, he was planning to capture Charlie and hand him over to Al Haroon. Kim tells Charlie that the city's biggest gangster had been in very poor health for months because he was over 100 years old. He needed the heart of someone very strong, and for this job, Charlie seemed like the perfect man because the last time his heart had even survived Chinese poison. Charlie knew that these people would not let him live, so he kills all of them and escapes from there. He recharges himself again using the electricity from the same pole their car had crashed into. On the other side, we see the same man who was torturing Johnny at the beginning. Al Haroon is extremely angry with him because he has failed to capture Charlie so far. As punishment, he orders the man to cut off his own nipples, and out of sheer terror, the poor man is forced to do it. On the other side, we see Eve. Her ex-boyfriend is apologizing to her and wants her to go with him, but when he keeps forcing himself on her, Eve beats him badly and injures him. Because of her incident at the racetrack, she has become very famous, and for this reason, the police arrest her. Charlie recharges himself and once again sets out in search of Johnny. This time, Johnny is right in front of him, and Charlie is about to catch him when Rhea suddenly sees Charlie and starts screaming loudly. Hearing her voice, Johnny becomes alert and starts running away. Rhea runs toward Charlie, but on the way, a car hits her and throws her aside. While chasing Johnny, Charlie once again gets completely discharged. To recharge himself, he jumps into an ambulance and then resumes chasing Johnny. But this time, while running, Johnny ends up inside a powerhouse, which turns out to be the biggest mistake of his life because there is no shortage of electricity for Charlie there. Charlie fully charges himself and brutally beats Johnny, but when he opens the box, he realizes that his heart is not inside it. Meanwhile, Miles calls Charlie because he has found out through his network of doctors that Charlie's heart had already been transplanted into that old man a week earlier. But Miles tells him not to worry. He has put his people on the old man's trail and they will catch him soon. After that, we see the old man who has Charlie's heart inside him. The old man is a complete pervert, and the first girl who comes to meet him has been planted there by Dr. Miles. On the other hand, while Charlie is interrogating Johnny, some men suddenly shoot him, knock him unconscious, and take him away. They torture him badly. When Charlie regains consciousness, he finds himself on a private island where he sees Al Haroon for the first time. He learns that Al Haroon is Verona's brother, the same Verona whom Charlie had killed a few weeks earlier. Al Haroon wants revenge for his brother's death and has kept Verona's severed head with him till now. Although his body is gone, his brain is still alive, and he can see and understand everything. Al Haroon wants his brother to watch Charlie die right in front of his eyes, so he starts whipping Charlie with a sharp whip. On the other side, with the help of that girl, the doctor captures the old gangster so that Charlie's heart can be removed from his body. Charlie is about to die at Al Haroon's hands when Venus suddenly attacks with his men. A heavy gunfight breaks out between both sides. Charlie disconnects Verona's severed head from the computer, which finally kills him. Because of all the torture, Charlie gets completely discharged once again, and there is no source of electricity around him. Just then, he notices an electric pole in front of him. Charlie climbs the pole and grabs the high voltage wires with his bare hands. This recharges his battery, but at the same time, his clothes and skin catch fire. Burning, he walks toward Al Haroon and beats him mercilessly, leaving him half dead. He then throws him into the pool in that condition, where Al Haroon drowns and dies. Because of the burns, Charlie is not in his right senses and mistakes Rhea for Eve, grabbing her tightly, which causes the poor girl to get slightly burned as well. Thankfully, they manage to take Charlie to Dr. Miles in time, and Miles fits Charlie's original heart back into his body, saving his life, although his face is completely burned. And with that, the story comes to an end. I hope you enjoyed the movie. Thank you for watching.